G'day and welcome back to OSFirstTimer. In this episode, Dad will be trying out macOS System 8.6 with Mum watching. Will he be able to complete a few basic tasks, or will he accidentally build a house and get stranded on a tiny island? Keep watching to find out. Okay, so here you are on the macOS System 8.6 desktop from 1999. macOS 8 was quite a significant change from the earlier versions of macOS, as it introduced the new Platinum interface, multi-threaded finder, live scrolling, and many more features. 8.1 introduced a more efficient file system known as HFS+, and from 8.5 onwards, a PowerPC processor was required to run the operating system. By the way, see that bar at the bottom corner of the screen? Just put your mouse over it so we know what we're talking about. That bar is actually known as the control strip. It was introduced in System 7.5 as a quick way to change resolution, color depth, volume, and so on. Your first task is, what time is it?
11:50 a.m.
That was pretty easy. Okay, yep. Fantastic.
Okay, thanks for that today.
Well, after all that chatting, he had lots of time to scan the screen anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoyed this.
Next is calculate 103 minus 47.
Okay. I wonder if it's down here, that calculator. Special. I might check here now.
Special.
View.
What's so special
Edit.
about a calculator?
File. Nothing there.
Nothing.
No. What's that there?
Disk.
Oh, it's a disc.
What's that thing? There's a blue thing, a strange blue thing.
That's for folder sharing.
That looks like a biscuit.
Are you really...
Oh,
Do you
look.
really...
Don't change the colours
not
of the
know
screen.
these things?
Don't change it. Look, all those things, I'll tell you, it's none of that. It's, you're not going to touch the control strip. It's more of, the control strip is more of
actually, it's
option.
probably
Menu,
up there.
yes.
Of course. Whenever I see that Apple sim, I think you've got to turn everything off. Calculator, there. Silly me as usual. What was the calculation, my boy?
So the calculation was 103 minus 47.
Oh, okay.
Which you actually don't need a calculator
103.
This actual calculator you're looking at here was actually in a very old Mac system, like from System 1 it's been in here.
56, my
What
boy.
are 2 equals? There's an equal down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice
What's
that.
the point of that?
In case you missed the first one.
Well, it's funny because when you press that little one, I was looking at the big one thinking, why
Why
didn't
didn't
you
you
press
click
that?
it?
And then you got the answer.
Well, Mum likes big ones, Dad likes little ones. Let's move on.
What's next?
Well, you got to close the calculator. Yeah.
There's no X on it to close it. I'll do that. There we go. I did it by
What did you
accident.
actually do?
I hit a box.
Oh, okay.
Just a random box on the thing.
So that was the close button, so congratulations. Ben used to be a Mac user. He used to use, I think, around Mac OS X, Mavericks, around that kind of thing. So that's what he used to use. Then he moved on to a Windows 10 user. Now he's actually just an Android user, so he doesn't really use much desktop operating system, so this is a bit weird for him. Anyway, the next task is to write, save, open and delete a text document.
Oh, I hate those things.
With the text document, it must be able to save to a file that, you know, you can do save as. You can't just do one that
He
automatically
has so
saves.
many problems just doing that.
Documents. Documents.
Yeah, but they're recent documents.
Those are recent ones that I've been reading and stuff.
Ah.
And if you actually look at those recent documents, you might get an idea of what this video was supposed to be. First, Mum was going to try out ArchiCAD 5.0. Then she was going to try out Bryce 4.0. Then there was problems with both those. ArchiCAD was too complicated. Bryce was having issues running properly. It ended up just being Dad tries out this operating system. So this was not a video that was ever meant to be.
Oh, Notepad. That's what I'm after, isn't it?
Well, that's one of the things.
Well,
I
you
could
think
use
there was a
Notepad.
scrapbook, there was a notepad, neither of which are appropriate for this task, I'm sorry. Notepad on the Mac doesn't let you actually save as separate files. That's just the thing, it's almost like you've got a notepad and you open your notepad and you flip through it and stuff, and you can go to...
You can't save anything.
No, it auto-saves, but you can't save it to an actual file, which is a bit frustrating.
So you've got to try and find it somewhere on the computer.
So it's actually somewhere, it's not in that menu.
So it's not...
It's somewhere
it's not
in
there.
the computer. It's
not
not there.
there.
And your task will be to add it to that menu. menu.
Oh my gosh.
So it gets a bit complicated here.
Oh, I don't like these complicated things.
I think we're going to be here till Christmas time.
So if it was you, what would you be doing right now to try and find the program?
Well, I'd be searching through. I mean, I might even go to File and Open.
What?
Oh, wait. Is there a new... No.
You said there are no files to
No,
open.
go to the Apple.
A good advice would be pretend this was macOS System 6 and pretend you're trying to look for Photoshop. What did you do?
Oh, on the... No.
It's not the scrapbook,
not
because you see how you can't save there?
Yeah.
There's no saving.
Okay.
Scrapbook's just almost like your own little scrapbook, but it's not saving separate files.
Okay.
Browsing
Paper,
keep
but-
trying
The browser internet is quite funny because it's Internet Explorer from Microsoft. That's the web browser in this.
What if it's in Diana's Mac?
I don't even know what's in Diana's Mac.
Let's try that.
Ah,
What do we have here, my
it
friends?
could
Do
be.
you like that platinum interface? It's an improvement over the System 6, don't you think? It's kind of a
Yeah,
metallic. It looks
Yeah,
almost like metal,
Yeah.
silvery.
That looks good. Looks quite clean and neat, that.
Especially
So
for
applications,
$19.99.
if it was my guest, I'd think applications.
Give that a crack. Radios and audio players. Simple text.
Well, he said a text document, not a simple text
Oh,
document.
no. No.
I'm being funny.
Ah, we
Ta-da,
found
so
something.
you actually
And then go
have-
up to File and see if you can
See if
do
you can
the
save.
save as.
Ta-da.
Ah,
so-
yes.
So this is so.
This is correct.
Give it a title. So title.
Okay. Oh,
You can't even smell. What's it?
what am I doing here?
Kim Jong-un. Dad's got an absolute
Jong-un.
obsession. His biggest fan is this guy.
Not
One.
fan.
No,
No, he's a-
I
He just
want-
makes fun of.
no, I
No,
don't make
he's
fun
not.
of him at
Don't
all.
say
Don't say that. Save as. And there we go.
I
Lovely.
should just put you out of your measuring now.
In case
instead
that
of Kim
don't say
Jong-un.
that, Dad was pretending to be someone else on YouTube.
yeah, but
a
don't
video.
say
I won't say
who.
what it is.
No,
but
it's
it's
not
a video
family friendly.
that has over 500,000 views on YouTube. It's a video that
It's
was
a
filmed
video.
in Yamba.
And when
in
he got
Australia.
caught, he
Yamba.
went, "Don't say
It was
that."
filmed in Yamba, and that's all we're going to
Yeah.
say, I'm afraid, my
Because
friends.
it's not family friendly.
Not family friendly at all.
It was good result.
So you're saving this document as. Save this document
Yeah,
as, then you put a name in, and then look, it's got two options.
It's
One with a
triangle
fold at the
at the
top,
top.
and one with a triangle.
So which one?
Can you now find where you saved Kim?
Ah, very good question.
It's not that hard.
It's in the files. If I had to get out of all these things. It's in the files, it is. I'm sure it is.
Could be staring you in the face.
It could be. I wonder if it's here.
That's right,
Oh.
you missed it again. There you go.
Ah, look at that. All sorts of lovely, lovely things that I
But
don't know.
not Kim.
Where has he gone?
I personally can actually see it.
I can't see Kim anywhere.
I can.
He's obviously not making himself obvious.
Well, I don't think you could get more obvious.
Where's he gone?
He's not exactly hiding, or if he is, it's a crappy hiding spot.
What's funny is it's actually like a man, he's
Seriously?
almost like by himself. Like he's not even following the folder structure. Like see
No,
all these
no.
folders, they're all
Yeah,
like
I know.
in very tight things.
And he's
kind of
even
almost to the
standing
side a little
inside
bit.
and
He's
saying,
like,
"No, I'm
"Here
too
I am.
good. I'm too good to
next
stand."
to simple text.
Ah, there he is.
Yes.
So can you delete it?
Delete it.
Delete
Oh,
Get rid
it
of
was
it.
hard enough to find it. How the hell is he going to
Well,
delete
let's
it?
first of all open him up, then delete him. There you go. You've opened him up. There's the inside of Kim.
I'll
Now you can close him now. Close him off.
close him off.
And now, how do you delete him? Now, I've just got to say
I know how
something.
to do that.
To right click
I was
on a
gonna
Mac.
right click.
Yeah, to right click on a Mac, you actually have to hold down the Control button on the keyboard and then do a left click.
All right.
Anyway,
Move to trash.
Yep.
Is that okay?
yep. You could have also
I
just
actually
dragged.
didn't know that.
Yep. You could have also just dragged him to the trash as well. Anyway, see the Apple menu at the top.
Yep.
Let's say you wanted simple text to be in the Apple menu, so you don't have to always go application simple text all the time. How do you just get that in there? Big hint here. This is called the Apple menu, and anything in the Apple menu is called Apple menu items.
Oh, yeah. I get what you're trying to say.
So even Diana just knew you've taken a wrong step already.
Yeah. As soon as you said it,
Yeah.
it was like he was deliberately trying to do the opposite.
I'll give you a clue. Rainbow.
Ah, that rainbow down there.
Oh, shit.
An apple-shaped rainbow.
Yeah, you already told me about that.
Yeah, but that's the apple-shaped rainbow, and that apple-shaped rainbow was somewhere else. For the sake of things, to make this even easier, I'm going to give you a huge hint. Here's a little tutorial here. That there is how you open simple text. Let's say you wanted to make a desktop shortcut of simple text. I'll just simply right-click or control-click it, make alias. An alias is basically a shortcut. See how it's got the little shortcut? So in Windows, an alias is called a shortcut. In Mac, it's called, you know that?
An
alias.
alias.
Yeah, an alias. That's the way they say, like, it's almost like a shortcut. Like, over here, this is not simple text itself, it's a shortcut. So you're not taking the program away, you're just a shortcut, and you could put that on the desktop.
So,
you know, that's on your desktop all the time.
Yeah.
But let's say you want it in the Apple menu. As a little clue, I'm just going to close that and open the system folder, and we'll see where you go from here. So you want that in the Apple menu, and the clue is rainbow coloured Apple symbol.
Ah, might grab that and put it there. Oh, what's happened? Oh,
You missed.
it's just not moving. It's stuck here. Oh,
It's not that hard to put
I did
in there. There you go. So you've actually put it in there. Now, what do you notice about the names of all these things in here?
They've got
Stickies,
names. Stickies.
Sherlock, Notepad, control panels. What do you notice? Calculator.
They're repeated.
Simple text. All of these things in here are just simply shortcuts and programs in the Apple menu item. So if you want anything to appear in the Apple menu, all you do is just put it in the Apple menu folder.
Yeah, and then
And then
have
it
a
appears
look.
in there.
There's the simple
See?
text.
So you did it.
You
Oh.
put it in there.
You did it. So all of these programs, if you wanted to add another program in there, you know, such as mail or something, I could just grab this and I could put it in there. Your next task is to change the desktop background.
I'm just looking through the Apple symbol now. I looked in the control panels. I can't see anything that could help me here. That's where I thought it would be, actually.
There's actually quite a few ways you can do this. There's multiple methods you can use to actually change the desktop background, luckily.
Yeah.
Diana actually knows one of the ways you can, even though she's never used this before, she knows the logical way you can do it that you do in many other operating systems.
Even non-Macs.
Even non-Macs. It's very...
It's actually the only way that I do it if I'm going to do it, but I actually don't do it.
Is this killing you watching him?
Oh,
Back in the olden days, Mum used to always go to help to try and help her figure out what to do.
but it didn't actually give me any help.
There's nothing here that remotely says anything about changing the desktop background. Not a single menu here pops up telling me anything about that. I'm going to go to the help center.
Show balloons. I've never heard of that before.
No, balloons is like almost a little...
Oh,
Okay, so thanks, you just crashed it.
Or what?
I'll get into Mac again, don't worry. Sheep Shaver isn't actually that stable. Sometimes things don't always work out. Okay, your computer crashed or was not shut down properly. Okay, so obviously you don't get help, otherwise you crash the Mac. But don't worry, that was just an emulation issue as opposed to a Mac issue. Do you want to try and give him some advice? How about you? We'll be here all day otherwise.
might
Don't
not
go
be.
back to help again.
It might not be in there. It might be some way you touch something.
Well, you can actually find it in the Apple menu,
But
you can actually...
I normally touch something to do
Okay,
it.
well, you show him how to touch something.
what should I click on? Anything?
No.
Anything at all?
It's not a matter of clicking on something on the screen. It's
What?
the way you touch something.
The way you touch
Yeah, you have to touch it the right way to get the results that you
Yeah,
desire.
that's exactly right. Touch it the right way.
Oh,
So you're touching all over the place.
Yeah, I'm
now
clicking all over the
Now,
screen.
all these touchings, you're touching in the right place, but you're not touching the right way.
You're not actually meant to be touching
It doesn't matter how many times...
anything on the screen.
It doesn't matter how many
It's
times
the way
you
you're
click.
touching something that's not on the screen.
touching something that's
Technically,
not
no, the
on
desktop is technically something.
Well, I'm lost.
Okay, Mum, help him touch
The
it.
right way to touch it.
Oh, now we got a phone. Okay, phone call's done. Now show Dad how to touch it the right way. No, that's not how you touch it.
But that's how I thought it was, a right click.
No, but remember, you right click, you have to, in this Mac OS, you do it a special way.
Do the thing with the right click.
Control, right click.
Yes.
Well, it's not technically, it's just left click.
Now,
really,
what
any
does
click.
it say there?
Change desktop background.
Yes.
I would never have got that. Okay, we can change it to Peanuts Pistachio. That looks very nice.
How do you think you'd set that?
I would go to set desktop.
You've actually done all the tasks.
Thanks for that.
No, but before you finish...
What?
I was just going to show you some stuff, just so you know what this video is actually going to be. I'll show you some things. We're going to actually try out Bryce, but there was an issue with Bryce 4, unfortunately. This was a really cool program where you could make 3D animations and 3D like scenes and stuff. For example here, let's say you wanted to add a little bit of water there, and you can see in the picture there's some water. Then add a bit of a mountain. I might move that over here. See, you can see the little preview over here.
Yeah.
Render that, and then it'll actually render And Dinah was going to try and make little scenes, 3D scenes, and maybe a shipwrecking boat, change it, make it nighttime or twilight times and stuff like that. Every time the line goes through, it gets better and better quality.
Yeah, I can see that.
The latest version was version 7 in 2010. And there's all these different objects, things you can add to it, and you can go to the sky effects. There's actually so much you can actually do with this program. It's quite incredible. In fact, I might just make it a small one quickly, just so it's able to render a little bit better. Now it's doing some anti-aliasing, or making it all blurry and stuff like that. Now that's kind of getting rid of the sharp look to it, so it looks more like a real photo type thing.
Yeah.
And see how the water looks very smooth and stuff like that. And there's so many different things you can go up here, sky and fog. You go into the sky lab here, where you can change the atmosphere, change it to more of a nighttime or a twilighty thing.
Technically, like, get a person and put them in that set. Like, get a picture of yourself, put it in the setting so that you've got almost like a green screen type thing effect.
You can do that.
Put yourself in a nice place type thing.
I'm trying to get it perfect, like a twilighty, like an orangey look. See that?
Yeah.
Where it's like the skies all coming down and it's setting on. See how the picture looks completely different up there in that little preview, and you can see how that makes it look completely different too, just having that. That's what you're going to be messing around with and doing that, but unfortunately just didn't work out because an issue with this, let's say you want to move the scene around, right? It's accelerating and I can't control where we are. There's issues with control and sizing objects. Let's say with this mountain I wanted to size it. If I go to edit here, it completely disregards what I'm doing with the mouse and it moves it the wrong way around. It's not listening to me. So that's just a sheep shaver issue with the emulator that I'm using. But the good thing about this is showing you software that you could get on the Mac. Like, you could actually use this on a Mac, and that's kind of what I wanted to show you. The Mac was powerful in 1999. You could do this. You haven't really seen much power by looking at a calculator, looking at a text document. It doesn't really show you the power of what a Mac could actually do. See ArchiCAD 5.0. This is what people use to make floor plans and that kind of thing. Right now, I think they're up to ArchiCAD 22 in real life. So you can imagine how much more advanced ArchiCAD 22 would be to this version, which is ArchiCAD 5, when you think about it, eh? So this software is from 1996. Here you've got a floor plan. I can zoom in. See, here we go. I zoomed into the balcony and see you make floor plans and stuff, and see how you've got doors here. And you would click here and you go, okay, I want to add a door to here and add some furniture, different furniture, shutters, stairs. And then what it actually does is it builds your floor plan. So all this stuff with the kitchen, dining room, they've put balconies along here. It builds all this to create.
Oh, wow.
It's a
that's
3D
amazing.
house. So you build it there.
And then you can see what it looks going to look like.
Yeah, then
before you build it to see if it looks any good.
Exactly. This is just the wireframe at the moment. Just wait for it to load because it's converting it into 3D. See, there we go. So there's the house in 3D. You can see all the windows that have been placed, the doors here. And if you do something, if I delete the balcony off the floor plan, it deletes it off here. Stuff like that. So you can see your house in 3D. So that's
how useful is that?
Exactly. That's 1996, but they've got much better programs that do it live now. So you're actually doing the floor plan, and instead of having to click on that to kind of update it every time.
As a little girl, one of the first job aspirations I had was to be an architect. And my father, because in the type of trade that he was in, like electrical and construction type trade, I got to see like plans of houses and that sort of thing. And I remember just making up my own little plans and designing houses. And I thought, that's what I want to do when I get older. Not that I ended up doing it, but what a fantastic tool this would have been, because instead of just imagining what it
2D thing,
look like in 2D, you can actually, as you're doing it, see it in 3D.
Exactly.
Which is pretty amazing.
Let's just say I deleted some stuff here. I was deleting stuff from the bottom of the house, and if I wanted to get rid of something on the top of the house, you'd actually have to go to the first floor, so you change what floor you're on. And now that shows you the floor above, and that's the balcony here. See that?
Yeah.
So if I wanted to then delete that balcony, there we go. So I've just deleted, see how on the balcony's gone in the floor plan? Then you come over to this, see those? Those are the little stilts here, 1, 2, 3. So if I deleted those would be gone. But the thing is, you can do that, look at different angles of the house, be inside the house, render like what the lounge room looks like in 3D. You know how real estate agents and stuff, you see before a house is built and stuff, they show you what it looks like. But for 1996, do you think that's pretty good?
Yeah.
This is what you were going to be doing in OSFirstTimer, but I found it a little bit too complicated to work out fully how to use the program, so that's why you didn't end up using this program. Telling you to build a whole house from scratch, How complicated is that? So finally...
I'd actually probably have more success actually physically building it from scratch than doing it on the computer here with all the things you have to press. And...
Oh no, trust me, there's programs today like Sweet House 3D or something where you could do it so easily. I can do it in 2 seconds, whip up a house. You know what I mean? No,
I'd like to see that.
Well, not 2 seconds.
That should be another video. Philip whips up a house in 2 seconds.
This is building a 3D house by today's standards. Then you want to build your little walls up here. And see how you're seeing at the bottom the walls appearing as you're making. How much easier is that?
Yeah, it is.
You know, and this is like a little floor plan here. I might not be clicking in the right spots exactly. And let's say I want to add doors and windows. See, you can just go here, add a door. Look at that, how easy. See, door to a floor plan. See, a door there at the front. See?
Yeah.
And you can actually move this around and look around at what you're doing in 3D as you're making it. Yeah. And then you might think, oh, you know, I want to add, well, a big massive window here. There we go, I've added that.
Oh, that looks,
You know? Added that, and then you might go, what am I going to do? Maybe some kitchen stuff. A cooker could go in this part of the kitchen over here, and then what do you notice in there? The cooker's in there.
Yeah.
You know? And that's much easier to design a house in modern times than it was back then, and this program's free. Back to 1999, what are you going to get Dad to do?
Turn off the computer.
How would you turn it off?
Normally you go up to the Apple symbol.
Dad used to Mac OS 10, obviously, Mac OS X 10, whatever you want to call it. And then he figured out that's not the way you turn the computer off back then.
You always turn it off though.
Well, apparently not.
Well, it looks like there's a special way to do it now, you know? He actually got the hint. He actually got it.
Shutdown.
What did you think of Mac OS 8.6? Give us your final thoughts.
Parts of it were okay, but other parts were just a bit too tricky, like to change the desktop background. You put your finger on that button control.
I agree that it's silly to do that. Just right click, for goodness sake.
Well, why can't you just go to a menu and why does it have desktop background? Go into a desktop.
You mean here's something up here?
Yeah, just a desktop background change, and then you need to change.
Like, for example, appearance.
Yeah.
And it being something like that.
Yeah.
You can change the desktop background here.
So
appearance.
you
Wish they used the word desktop background, not appearance.
Yeah, so appearance was an option. There's actually here, you can change the highlight colour. You could change the theme. Instead of it kind of like this, you might want a different theme where it's like a green progress bar, you know, that kind of stuff. Instead, if you wanted to... Who
names this? Golden Poppy and Lollipop? I mean, really?
Well, you know. By the way, the reason the flower's not taking up the whole screen is because back then the screens were square. This has been forced into 720p when Mac doesn't really often used in 720p or stuff like that back then. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you...
Tonight.
What tonight?
Why tonight?
Tomorrow.
I hope you don't see them tonight. What are you doing while they're in beds at night? Are you sneaking in?
No, we don't talk about things like that. That's very scary. Very scary.
Anyway.
The only person going to creep in is Santa at the end of the year.
Santa coming to houses at night. That's a good point. He actually...
Yes.
He creeps in your house. That's a man creeping in your house at night.
That's a story. Down the chimney. Anyway, at least we...
With his big sack.
We do have a big chimney now. We didn't before.
We do. We got 2 chimneys.
Okay,
Two Santa Clauses at once.
What are they going to do when they get down? Anyway, let's
compare presents.
Well, let's hope they're all sleeping and we don't find out.
Before this video turns into really... I guess the moral of the story is live in an apartment without a chimney and then you'll be safe from Santa and his sack. Anyway, we will see you next time on OS First Timer. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.